Portfolio is down about $850,000. So what happened? And my name is Zach and welcome to my channel. If you've not been here before, I am a popular investor with eToro, meaning I help manage money for people. I currently manage around $17 million and I'm one of the top 5 most copied in the world. So if I have attracted so many copiers, how come I'm doing so badly the past week? So getting into the numbers, you can see that for the month of June, even though it's still like middle of June, we're down already 5.3%. If you look at my history, this is not something that's unusual. You can see 5-ish% here, 6-ish% here, 10% here. And I've had, I believe 10 is my largest drawdown for the month. So again, this volatility is kind of expected, but it is more than the S&P 500, which gets people very concerned. Now, one of the reasons is market cap weightage, which I just covered in a recent video, so do check it out in the link in the description below. And I really hate to use benchmarks, to be very honest with everyone. But it seems the most convenient, and no matter how much I try and drill into people that I don't want to use this benchmark or that benchmark, come up with new ideas of how to benchmark the portfolio, people just revert back to the S&P 500, so we'll just have to go with it. Getting to details of portfolio, as you can see here, there's quite a few things that had to go wrong this week for it to have such a large drawdown. First of all, you can see our China's weightage is quite high. In fact, when I calculated it, it's about 20-30%. And it was our largest position at 10.41 that had some issues as well. And of course, our crypto positions, which add up to about 5% of our portfolio, also had some issues. Even some of our truly value plays like Barclays had issues. As you can see in the month of June, it wiped out almost half its gains that we gained from the previous months. But one of the biggest contributors has to be China, because if you look at the rally that we had, it was like a 20% rally for Alibaba, just as a proxy for the rest of the Chinese portfolio. But it not only erased all its gains, but it's gone lower than it has from May 14th. You can see here. So Ethereum, all crypto as well, has really lost some of its luster. You know, it's up 33%. Even though the CPI number came out and it was positive, it still dropped. So now we're at about -8, but went as much as -14. And of course, we had some additional positions in chills and things like that. So that would have caused more volatility to the portfolio. Dollar Swiss franc position, which frankly should act uncorrelated to the rest of the assets, also fell. As you can see here, we had a major gain of 5% last month, and then you can see here wiped out almost half of its gains as well. More than half of its gains actually. Daniel's, one of our largest positions, rallied quite a bit. As you can see here, from May till June, it rallied about 36% and just gave back 10% in the month itself. So just doing some very simple numbers, if we just count China as 30% of the portfolio, which is approximately around there, and we say that lost about 12%, that's 3.6% accounting for it. Crypto 5%, lost 8%, 0.4%. Dollar Swiss franc, I'm estimating about 1%, and of course Daniel's 0.8%, so total about 5.8%, which is about right. But having said that, some things did well, some things suddenly didn't do so well, so you know, it's just an estimate of how things have gone. Now we can go into details and specifics about why certain stocks fell and why they fell so much, or crypto in fact, why it's fallen so much. But in order not to make this video too lengthy, what I'm trying to say here is I'm not overly concerned about the performance of the portfolio. Reason being is I'm holding these stocks for a very specific reason, and right now I still think the reasons are good. For example, for Daniel's, we do see there's positive cash flow going to the future, and it's selling at discount to what we think is the fair value, which is great. For the dollar Swiss franc, we did talk about it in the previous video. You can check it out in my link in the description below. Why is my favorite currency to continue to trade? But having said that, I do want to make a couple of changes to the portfolio, and this is really because of the video I just did on the market cap weighting and index weighting. I suddenly see a lot of more risk coming into the market. One, because of the French elections that happened recently that I think is huge. Two, we're starting to see a little bit of cracks in terms of the financialization of the market itself, and specifically the S&P 500. So I'm thinking about getting rid of some of the positions which I think are good bets, but not huge. For example, CLW, which is trust based in Australia, that gives really good dividends, it's quite stable, and I think it's fairly valued properties. While these can give decent returns in the upward market, which I'm kind of expecting this year to be, the risks currently have me thinking otherwise. But nonetheless, I think we're still in a good position to benefit, especially in China, because everything is so cheap there. And there's no real catalyst on why stocks have gone down. So really all we've done is take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back to end where we really started, back at basement levels. I wouldn't want to add because I think we're really very concentrated, but I do expect it to go much higher from current levels. But remember, none of this is financial advice. Do seek a financial professional should you need it. If you want to check out my portfolio, do check the link in the description below. If you want to start a virtual account and see what's to copy me, you can also click in the link in the description below and it will take you to sign up. So we still have 6 months until the end of the year. I'm really curious to see how the market is going to unfold. The risks are really interesting to me. And I do see a lot of opportunity out there as well. So do stay safe. If you have any questions at all, do just leave it in my eToro wallet and I'll do my best to get back to them.